Hello, hello. It's Red Sabbath, episode 7, copyrighted 2025, March 2nd, E.CLI Rights Reserve. Hey, hello, hello. We're just setting up for our Red Sabbath weekly show. We are going to begin at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But in the meantime, I'm just calibrating our setup. Just wanted to say hello, hello. Hello out there. People out there, hello. Yeah, we're a little early, but we wanted to set up our Instagram Live and Facebook Live on this screen. So, all right, we got a few more minutes to go. We just wanted to say hello, bringing a lot of you people online. Hopefully you can stand my talk in the next hour or so. Red Sabbath, Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're just setting up, and hopefully you'll enjoy our talk today, Saturday night. And we have one viewer, Sonia, on Instagram Live, and hopefully somebody at Facebook Live will acknowledge my show. I might wear glasses today. Yeah, I think that's a lot clearer with my country. Yeah, I'm in character as MERLE Celeste. Hello everyone, my name is MERLE Celeste. That is my in character. I wanted to make an announcement. March 7th, filmmakers meet up at the Queen Bean. Just to inform everyone. Queen Bean, Modesto Artist Management, and also the Modesto View has been helping local artists as well as the screen and film crew. And the State Theater held a what we call a film festival, which was ran by the Sigma team. That film festival actually was okay, but I did not get notified in advance, so it was a short notice. But I went to spend $8 on the film festival at the State Theater. But anyways, we need to improve that sales and marketing business wise. A lot of the people here are creative, but they're not business minded. So in order for Modesto area to have a ongoing creative, there has to be a demand for it. And business, a lot of these creative people are very weak in business. And in Hollywood, business is really a priority. You know, why create a product, content, if there's no business on it? It just doesn't make sense when you have creative people, the writers, and then the actors, and then the camera people, the filmmakers, when there's no business. What's the use of when you have no show business? Okay, it's all about show business. I keep telling people, you gotta know the business. Hollywood is not just creating, Hollywood is business. It's a business. You know, filmmakers here in Modesto are just arrogant, and we need to fix that arrogancy. And you need to learn to be a team. You know, it's a team effort. It's the entire village. And in order for that business to go, to be perpetuating all year, from now to the year 2127, you know. And if people are so arrogant being solo artists, individualism, you know, there's no hope for the future of storytelling in Modesto and actually capturing and filming it. So my guitar is tuned. My guitar is from, this guitar is particularly from Maui, from my choir a long time ago. They gave this guitar to me, and I've been using it to write music, basically starting with my poetry. And I always write on my notebook. You know, I encourage people to write their idea book. You know, in engineering labs, in the research lab, you gotta have a engineering notebook. You know, even if you have chicken scratch on your engineering notebook, it is your research lab notes. You know, you have to document it, and so the legal department would want that in case there's any issues of originality. You know, your timestamp when you created that idea. So, Red Sabbath, episode 7, season 1, Red Sabbath. Today, 2025, March 2nd, you know, I wrote a little notebook on my notebook what I'm going to talk about. You know, it's called an idea book. It's an originality book, and it needs to be written down and documented for legal purposes, right? But if you're plagiarizing and you keep covering people's music, your originality, you keep covering other people's work, then you're plagiarizing. You know, if you want to be an originator, a storyteller, you have to put it in your journal, your logbook or your engineering book or idea book. You have to write it down, put it down. Okay? Don't just cover people and then you say, hey, you created your own original work. You know, it's dangerous to plagiarize other people's work. You know, you gotta cite other people's work. If it's a cover, it's a cover, and you let people know you're covering somebody's work. But then when you have an original and you don't write it down, you know, and so Red Sabbath season 1, the first episode to now the 7th episode today, our sole purpose is to talk about Modesto area media, you know, original poetry media, and you always have to cover your ass about, you know, what your originality is when you're a fake copycat cover artist. Well, I mean, there's a value to cover music because a lot of the restaurants here, they want you to perform covers and they want to hear covers, you know, so you get paid for that. That's a service for restaurants. But if you have not genuinely pleased the local community, local restaurants that hire you people not pleased, they're what you call willing to put you out there as a local artist, then they're not going to pay for you. And that's the drawback of local favoritism here in the Modesto area. So yeah, we do this every Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, 8 p.m. Kind of turn on early because we got 9 more minutes to go. Again, thank you for those that are anxious to hear my talk. Red Sabbath, nothing to do with Black Sabbath. Although Black Sabbath, they're trying to reset and restart, and Ozzy Osbourne is going to concert 2025 nationwide. Yeah, probably global. So look out for that band. They are one of the reference point for metal music. Way before Metallica, Black Sabbath. They're a international band. They're not USA. They did not begin in USA, but I favor more of USA bands like Leonard Skinner or Jefferson Starship. These are USA originated bands in rock. But me, as Merle Celeste, I'm pushing original West Coast country, West Side, here in Stanislaus County, Modesto area, because it's agriculture in Modesto area. It's farmland. It's agricultural country. And I'm always encouraging local musicians here to talk about Waterford, Oakdale, Riverside, Turlock, Ripon, Stockton area, Lodi. I mean, there have been great bands that talk about West Coast country, West Side, here in Modesto area. And so that's what we need, is storytellers that talk about local area, Modesto area. The indigenous tribe here, the Yokuts Nation, the Digger Indians. We Digger Indians, or the Chicano, the Latin, first vaqueros, first cowboys in West Coast country. We invented being cowboys, vaqueros. The bullfighters, and of course the origins of guitar players. The Latin guitar from my great-grandfather's mother. Ibanez. Okay, so let's begin our show pretty soon. We got, according to my watch, we still got 5 minutes. So stand by, because we storytellers in Stanislaus County, we have a lot to say, and we do this on a weekly basis, because if we do it daily, it's a little too much TMI, too much information when we do it daily. So we do it every steady day, every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We call it Red Sabbath, or Saturday Red. because I drink Merlot, and so I call myself Merle Low. Celeste is my real name, my mom's last name, original last name before she married my father, Gabriel, and he's a Camaro. His mother is a Camaro, and his father is of the Celles, Italiano, Celle. But because my mother is of Luzon Indio heritage, she is a Celeste, and her indigenous mother's name is Breeze. The Breeze. They call me the Breeze. All right? But she is also a Celeste from her father's side. Again, it's an Italian. And of course, you know, the Italians served the Spanish Empire, New Spain. New Spain, I shared the map of all the emblems of the New Spain Empire, and they reached out all the way to the land of creation, the Garden of Eden, the Philippines, Maharlika, Austronesian. Yeah, so after the Spanish-American War and the Philippine-American War, the USA acquired those territories. The US territories, they acquired Texas, Florida, Arizona, New Mexico, California. Those were all New Spain territory, all the way to the Philippines, Guam, Hawaii, territories of New Spain. The whole Pacific Rim was New Spain. The galleons, you know, the Spanish galleons. But people, you know, don't understand who Merle Celeste is. Merle Celeste. I also take the name Stanislaus Ophir Kukunach because Chief Stanislaus is from the Spanish New Spain domain. Territories. A lot of Indios were scattered in that New Spain Empire. Unlike the East Coast Indians like Oneida or the Mohicans and anyways, we're talking about West Side, West Coast, and we're gonna begin with our show, We the People. We begin with the people, USA, We the People. The people, the people. The preamble of the U.S. Constitution begins with We the People. It is the mission statement of the Constitution, the law of the land. ConstitutionUS.com. You can find the 27 amendments, the law of the land. The First Amendment is our freedom of the press. We can talk about anything we want as U.S. citizens of the Constitution. We the people, the people of the United States. And so we begin our show. Season 1, Episode 7, Red Sabbath, or Sabbath Saturday Reds. We perform our live show and we begin. It is 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, USA. And we go, We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution, the United States of America. And then we do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Oh, wait, no. We do the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, who say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, where the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, yet proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And what I'm doing is entering a virtual Garden of Eden ministry. So we're online, we're delivering a virtual ministry. And we began with We the People, which is the preamble of the Constitution with 27 amendments, constitutionus.com, if you can see that. And then we sang the Star-Spangled Banner. And then, of course, we pledged allegiance to the flag, the USA flag. And, of course, now we're going to be in virtual mode in this sphere or circle. And we begin with the... we had the Lord's Prayer to be spiritually in this virtual Garden of Eden ministry. Now the Lord's Prayer is how Yeshua, Jesus Christ, prayed to God the Father, Yahweh. It's in the book of Matthew, chapter 6. Because we're in the virtual garden and we're given the ministry. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Deliver us from every evil, Yahuwah. Yahweh, God, Holy Great Spirit, for the kingdom and the power and the glory are yours now and forever. Okay, that is the invisible God. We have said the Lord's Prayer. The Lord is Jesus Christ, or our brother, our fellow man, who we are. Jesus is an example of how we should be. Okay? And of course, we talk about our ministry. We are in what we call the Secret Garden Ministry. Today, God has allowed men, researchers, to disclose where the Garden of Eden is at, because centuries ago in the ancient maps, they disclosed where that land of gold is at. The first gold rush, which is in Maharlika, and Columbus looked for it. He claimed to find where it's at, the longitude and latitude, and he thought he was already at the Garden of Eden when he landed in Haiti, and Venezuela. But a few years later, a Portuguese sailor, similar to Columbus, an Italian sailor, corrected Magellan corrected Columbus where the actual latitude and longitude that he was searching for, because Magellan and his journalist Pigafetta corrected Columbus, and that was in the 1500s, while 1492 Columbus, he landed in what he claimed was India, where the Indians that he saw and met, the Taino tribes in the West Indies. He wasn't at the East Indies, he was in the West Indies. The Taino tribe in Haiti, the Arawak Nation, they warned all the tribes in the Americas that this white man Columbus landed, and they knew and limited them not to move forward. But later on, Cortez, okay, so we talk about the past, the present, and the future, and we're talking about the past and what has occurred, because they were searching for the Garden of Eden. Columbus, the people from Spain, the Spanish Empire, and Italians were serving the Spanish Empire, and so were the Portuguese, because the collaboration between Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Aragon, they made the Empire of Aragon, Iberia. They kicked out the Moors in Spain. They kicked out the Moors of what was the place in what is now called Spain. There is a place called where the Moors were at in Iberia, which was a place called Granada. So Granada, Spain, which was Iberia, which was for centuries the Moors occupied Spain or Iberia. But Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Aragon, Queen Isabella of the Spanish Castilian Empire, the Castiles, okay. And I believe, the guitar from my great-grandfather's mother, Ibanez, the Valencia, Spain. I think that's part of the Castile. But the Castile Spanish were very strong and powerful, and they were good swordsmen from the Roman Empire. Because the Roman Empire were descendants of the Spanish Empire, the powerful Castile and Aragon were, enforcing the Inquisition at the time in the 1400s. By 1492, this Italian sailor went to find new places, new empire for the Spanish Empire, and Columbus thought he was in India or in that location, the Philippines. All right? But no, he was not. The Indios of the Philippines and the Indios of Taino looked similar. He thought he was already by India, or the land of creation called Maharlika, which was influenced by India, or vice versa. The Cholan Empire were already influenced, and they were with the Philippines. The Cholans, and now the Tainos and the Cholos of Mexico. So the Cholos and the Cholans, they all were thought of being one under the discovery of Columbus, but really it was corrected by a Portuguese named Magellan, and the logs of Pegafetta disclosed that they were in the land of creation, they were in Maharlika, they were in Christ, or the Greeks call it Christ, but the ancient map disclosed this. And today, 2025, there is a research group called, on YouTube, the God Culture. It's a one word, the God Culture. It's a YouTube channel, and they disclose today, but they've been researching since 2017, 2018, 19, 20, 21. Nobody could disprove this research group. They based it on their research from the archives of the, what you call, the documents that were seen in the scrolls, the Dead Sea Scrolls, as well as, you know, biblical research on King Hiram, a Phoenician that served King Solomon, and that King Solomon's navy went out to these ancient maps, and they know where it was and is. But 100 years ago, they tried to wipe that out from the memory of Western world, as well as the USA. 100 years ago, they tried to rewrite history, not, you know, because slavery and racism, and they couldn't prove the fact that black and brown people were the first nation, and the people, the Quetzalcoatl, you know, there was already a knowledge of Yeshua, Quetzalcoatl, and indigenous people were already aware, even Africans were already aware of Yeshua, Jesus. But the true Israelites, the true descendants of the sons of Hebrews, were valid and knowledgeable of the world that was around. But flat earthers and flat people were still not believing that Magellan, you know, Pegafetta sailed around the world. Yeah, Columbus died in the Philippines, and of course that was the place of land creation, the land of gold, the first gold rush. And that was King Hiram, a Phoenician that served Solomon, that would gather building materials for Solomon's temple. And they already knew, King David already knew where land of creation was. But yeah, check out the God Culture in YouTube, and you will learn more about the research in these ancient maps that are disclosed today. And you can buy some of these products of books, of literature, in Amazon. All right, so we're talking about the past, yesterday, and yesterday also, recent yesterday was the administration, the 47 administration, and my God, one of the the president of Ukrainian went and came here and tried to make a remedy of peace, but he was ambushed by these two, you know, Mr. Vance keeps pushing his point of view with Trump, and well, there's no peace agreement. So all we can ask for is to pray that, you know, Russia stops what he's doing, what Russia's doing. They gotta stop. They're the ones that the president should tell, you know, stop, peace, you know, exercise the way of Yeshua, Jesus, you know. But I don't know, I think they want war. This government wants war, wants turmoil, wants harm for we the people. You know, we the people, I mean, all these mass firing and, you know, this Nazi swastika electric developer of Tesla. I mean, I have high praise of him before as an engineer and developing better ways to not use oil. But apparently it's a conflict of interest because a lot of people that love Trump want to you dig up oil from reservations and very important land, and then conflict with Canada, who also digs oil north of Canada to supply USA with oil. I mean, it's just turmoil or chaos, and chaos is a favorite thing that evil and demons want. They want chaos. That's what demonic people want, chaos. Demons want chaos, you know, chaos in hell and rah, metallic music. Rah, that's Black Sabbath. But I have nothing to do with Black Sabbath. My thing is Red Sabbath, you know, to have people observe the past, you know, and report the present. You know, do you see anything that was evil in the past that looks the same in the present? And surely Hitler looks like he's restored here today. What's going on here? The people of, but you know, we have to observe the past. What happened in the past, like Pigafetta and Magellan correcting Columbus, and then, you know, archives and history of bad men like Hitler in Germany, which lied to many of the Germans, and the Germans believed him. And then eventually they were, you know, ended by men like General MacArthur and generals of World War II. So are we repeating, is this administration repeating World War II? Because that's probably what they want. They want some kind of a, what's happening is reset. They want to go back to McKinley time. McKinley time, very powerful man. He raped and plundered the Philippines. You know, in the 1900s, USA raped the Philippines in the 1900s. If you don't know the history of the Spanish-American War and then the Philippine-American War, USA raped and plundered the Philippines and Spain and Spanish, whatever they owned, the Spanish owned. I'm just, you know, let's not continue the past, but repeat the past. But they're preying on Spanish people, descendants of the Spanish Empire. You know, the Mexicans and the, you know, immigrants, but they're not immigrants. We own indigenous people. We own. I mean, we were part of the Alta California Philippine Mexican Empire, the New Spain Empire. But USA grabbed all that, stole all that, and Mark Twain complained about it. If you watch the literature of Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, he wrote a white paper called "To the Person Sitting in Darkness." You know, innocent indigenous half-breeds, Mexicans that used to be in the Spanish Empire, New Spain, That's why, like I said, the Gulf of Mexico is New Spain, the empire of New Spain. The Gulf of Mexico was a product of New Spain. And so if you look at my Instagram or my Facebook, I posted about this New Spain, the territories of New Spain. And the Philippines was part of it because New Spain knew, the ancient maps knew that the Philippines is the Garden of Eden. It's part of the ancient King Solomon's mines, and a Phoenician king named Hiram would sail from Israel, that area of New Spain, that area of the Phoenicians, would go to the land of creation. And ancient maps were there. But when USA took over in the 1900s, they erased all that knowledge. They tried to wipe out what was New Spain's territory. But, the Spanish and the Portuguese, if you look at their history, you will not, USA was not, you can't, USA tried to erase that stuff. But the Spanish and the Portuguese have that history. And the Gulf of Mexico is one of that history. And today you got these, the Trump is trying to erase that history by calling it Gulf of America. And people are posting Gulf of something else. But history is history. What has happened in the past is what already is truth. It's already documented in heaven. God already documented it. What evil men have done. It's already in the tablets of heaven. Heaven has already documented it. The angels have already documented this ruthless evil. And today we have people trying to, erase that. 1964, 50 years, 60 years ago, USA already documented the evil of slavery, the evil of Jim Crow, the evil of making black people suffer, black and brown people suffer, constant segregation. And, that's what this administration is trying to do, is kind of like go back to McKinley time. And Trump is announcing that that's the richest time USA was. He's digressing. He wants USA to go back to that, but it's evil. It is already bad. It was bad. We've already gone through that, and he wants to go back to that. That is evil. When you digress, you move forward to bring heaven on earth. That is what God wants us to be, to love one another, love your fellow man, love your neighbor, love the person you see, I love the person I see, people I see. So yesterday, this live show every Saturday, we call it Red Sabbath, is we talk about the past, yesterday, and then of course we move forward if we can accept yesterday, and we move forward to know what we've done in the past, what happened to us in the past, and we move forward to a better day. But don't change the past. Don't change the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Don't repeat the past, the bad past when McKinley, stole, USA stole every land that the Spanish-American War. Yeah, they won war, but no, they were bullying the Spanish New Spain. They were bullying Mexican Empire. You know that? They encouraged war so that they can take Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, and the Philippines. That's what USA did. They stole. Even Hawaii. It's stolen land. How can you repeat history that was ugly to the indigenous people of Mexico. It's just a sin. Why are you being evil? Why do you repeat this? You're calling criminals immigrants. You know, you've announced it in your previous to be elected by the American people, but you're repeating bad past of the U.S. history. No history. You know, a lot of people that voted for Trump, they don't know history. They just say, oh, let's believe him. Now you got this rich billionaires that are firing all these American good civil servants. It's just damage, and it's repeat of bad history, of bad leadership. You know, if that's the current government, we have to live with it because majority of the people voted. Well, maybe 50.01% voted for Trump. And that's the case. 50.007% of Americans voted for Trump. And maybe there was a flaw of the election. But all I can say is not when you repeat history and you bring back McKinley, President McKinley, and now you have this kind of situation with Ukraine victims of bullies in Europe. You know, I mean, Europe is always warring each other, you know, and that's the history of Europe, you know, from all this history of Napoleon, all those history of bad Hitler, and all those wars in Europe. You're bringing it here in the U.S. We don't want war in the U.S. We don't want slavery. You know, those are all European ways. We're here in the U.S. and we want to bring heaven on earth. You know, we want to see love, human, man to man, love one another as God, as Jesus, his son, wanted to show that. You know, I mean, in the, not the Last Supper, but after the road to Emmaus, Jesus told these disciples, you know, that he has resurrected. There is no man on earth that has ever resurrected like Jesus in the New Supper with the road to Emmaus. If you know that story, road to Emmaus, Jesus disclosed himself that he resurrected to these two disciples. If you know that story, it's the New Supper. He ate supper with these men. He showed himself to his men. But he had blurred their eyes until they realized that was Jesus resurrected. And so respect God. Respect Jesus. He is real. He resurrected. But today's billionaires, they don't know him. They don't know how to help the poor. They're billionaires. They can help the poor with billions of dollars. Every single human being on earth could be helped by these billionaires. But what do? They're serving demons. They're serving Satan. That's what they're serving. They want chaos. They want war. They want to put this technical chips on their brain. You know, I mean, just like the internet technology, it wasn't designed this way. I was part of the IETF Internet Engineering Task Force. We didn't design it to be this way, where you got a bunch of scammers and hackers, and I mean, they're mucking with my account in Facebook where I can't post on groups. Some a-hole on Facebook has set up something that I can't post on groups. They're they're limiting me to post on my own Facebook account, on my own Facebook group accounts, in one of my Facebook accounts. The one that I'm on live right now, there is an asshole in Facebook that's using, you know, corrupting, you know, and these hackers, they gotta end this shit, you know, because the internet wasn't designed to be that way. And a lot of replicating accounts and screwing other celebrities and messing up with their accounts, cloning them. I mean, that internet is not designed to be that way. The internet is designed to better communicate human to human, to have a better knowledge about each other, to love one another. That was designed, that's the original design of the internet. The Facebook app, it's not designed to screw up other users. It's just ridiculous. But technology is messing up humans, and you got demons playing a role. And it's just warning, you know, warning those evil people that your shit ain't gonna continue. Your shit's not, you know, it's gonna stop. It will be, you know, it will be, end, you know, it will end, you know, when you do these kind of bad things to other humans. It's called karma. You know, you cannot do evil stuff to other human beings. It's karma. It'll come back to you. You know, don't harm others. You know, there's a book of Sirach, which one of the ministries today. You know, just do good. Don't harm others. Don't hurt, because it's gonna come back to you. Don't talk shit about other people. It's gonna come back to you. Just respect and love, you know, what you can put out. And, you know, you have to just be that way, respect. But if demons and a-holes and disrespecting individuals continue on this kind of ungrateful sin, it'll come back to you. It's karma. What comes around goes around. All right. So we talked about yesterday and what's going on tomorrow. Tomorrow is just like I said. Tomorrow there'll be a meeting at the Queen Bee for filmmakers, but I'm just saying, locally, people are still not professional here. If they want to be professional, they should know what the union looks for, what they want in filmmaking. You know, right now we got a bunch of rookies, independent filmmakers that are still producing content that's non-union. You know, conform to SAG-AFTRA.org, conform to the Producers Guild of America in US, you know, in Hollywood, how they produce content and how they work with actors. Excuse me. Okay, I got a few more minutes to go. Actually, we're doing good. Actually, 25 minutes. So I had to do something over there real quick. So tomorrow, you know, that's my advice, you know, to people that want to do something. You know, why do you fire people? That is harm to another citizen, harm to USA, we the people. That is not good. That, you know, you may be that may be good to save money or whatever, but it's harming another person in America. Why do you save money and harm others? You know, oh, it saves money. They're making too much money, so can them, fire them. But it's a service to other people. It's good service. I mean, park rangers, for example. You can people that help other people when they get lost at a park. You fired people that helps other people. You're a fucking asshole when you do that. You're a dickhead. You know? I mean, Elon Musk is a dickhead when he fires people that helps other people. So what if they make money? They're making money for a service that helps other people. What a fucking asshole, excuse my language. But he's a dickhead. He doesn't know anything about being a loving person. 1 John 4 verse 20, 21. These are people that help other people. Park rangers. You know, don't be a stupid ass. Someday you're gonna get killed. I'm just warning you, it's karma. Americans don't like that. They don't like stupid assholes. Yeah, he's a genius in business, he's a genius in creating cars or whatever. You know, he didn't invent anything, he just built on something because he has money, he has wealth. A rich man needs to be like Zorro. A friend of mine says he's Zura, you know, but Zorro, he's a rich man, but he helps the poor. He helps the victims of evil. You know, bad people, Zorro helps. The weak. But this stupid asshole that creates swastikas is firing and harming these good people that serve other people. There's no excuse for that, man. I don't like assholes here in Modesto area that doesn't help others or doesn't collaborate with others because they're selfish solo artists, motherfucking a-holes. But if you are a good person, I don't have nothing against you because you're helping others. You're collaborating and helping other artists work out and make a better product. You know, product like music. Music, we just create music because it's what we love to do. We love art, we love music, and if we help others, you know, we try to promote them, take pictures of them, go to their events. You know, that's what we want to do. We like to help other artists, you know, and groups like Modesto area movement as well as the Modesto Review, they promote and show people and help others. Local businesses, you know, we help other local businesses. But when an a-hole or a business doesn't support diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's an entity that doesn't support unity, doesn't support God's love, the way Yeshua says, love your brother as yourself. 1 John 4 verse 20, 21. Read it. You know, even the old ancient book says, you know, love thy neighbor. Right? Commandment number 2, commandment number 1. How can you claim to love God if you can't love your own brother? Yes, love God with all your heart and soul. Love God. God is the invisible, powerful creator. Human. He's not a human. He's the invisible God. So we should be indivisible. We shouldn't be divided. We should be united for the people, we the people. But if some a-hole harms one of us, we the people of the United States, in order to form a perfect union, if we are not united and some prickhead comes along and tries to divide the United States of America by firing these servants, civil servants, he's a fucking asshole. He's a dick twat. I am sorry to say. You know, we the people, you know, United States has been a great government since 1973. That is the beginning of the United States good government, because blacks were able to vote. Blacks were able to, do good things amongst white and brown people. We the people have improved since I'll just say 1976, because 1976 was a reference point. But when Dick shit brings up slavery and brings up bad things again for the people of color, it's a shit show. It's an ass wiping crap shit show. When someone disables diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's a shit show. It's an asshole. It's a dick twat mother crapper. I'm not saying I'm pissed off, but all I'm saying is America improved when we've gotten to respect ball players. Jackie Robinson was a pioneer. Number 42. If you know who Jackie Robinson. Now baseball, American baseball, now you got Utani now. You got a Japanese dude that can play baseball in American Major League Baseball. He plays for the Dodgers. But when we have dick twats like killing diversity for the federal workers, fudge! Stop the dumb dim wits that try to end diversity, equity, and inclusion. Stop these businesses that don't like diversity, equity, and inclusion. Don't tell me that it's not good. Don't tell me that diversity, equity, and inclusion is not for God, for heavenly people. Don't tell me that. You are a demon. You are a devil. You're a shit crap, individual. That's not America. We the people have fought hard for bringing heaven on earth. And we're not going to stop to bring heaven on earth, because heaven on earth is the way of God. That's the way of Yeshua, Jesus Christ. To love one another, to bring heaven on earth. That is the way. That is the Lord's Prayer. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That is God. That is United States of America. Not some fascist warmonger. You claim to say abortion is evil for a woman to do. That is a woman's right. But you got this J.D. Vance saying abortion is evil. You have to abhor evil. You abhor evil when a woman is raped, when a woman is disrespected, when a little girl is, raped. When J.D. Vance says when a woman does abortion, and when these men tell a woman, that she's wrong for aborting a child. Well, when a woman is raped, when a woman doesn't have a choice, man, you are wrong, J.D. Vance. You're a shitty ass vice president. That's my opinion. I'm a Catholic person and I believe in aborting evil. You abort evil. Any kind of product of evil, you abhor it. Abhor it. That's what abhor is. Abortion. But when you believe in this guy, when you voted for J.D. Vance, who pushes and insists on women to not abort evil, you are wrong, son. You are wrong, Vice President. You need to get out of the Catholic Church. But he's Catholic and he's telling these Catholic voters to vote for him. I am sorry. The Bible says abhor any evil. That's what the Bible says. That's what the Catholic Bible says. There are 66 Catholic Bibles, and it always says in the scriptures, abhor evil. And so when a woman is raped, when she's victimized by demons and Satan, she has every right to choose to abhor that evil. Abhor. A-B-H-O-R. Abortion. That is called abhor. Read the Bible, Mr. Vance. You know, you are a liar. Somebody lied. And again, thou shalt not lie. It's in the Bible. Oh my goodness. All I can say is that is the future. We want you to abide by the law of God and the law of the land. ConstitutionUS.com. 27 amendments have already been a Congress decision made, but you're reversing it. Why do you try to stop printing the penny? Abraham Lincoln. You know, that is an act of assassinating Abe Lincoln. And that's what they did after the 14th Amendment, 15th Amendment, 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. Those amendments were already set, but the South wanted to take back the 40 acres and the mule. You know that? And so they negotiated with the North. President Ulysses S. Grant, they came back. For some reason, the South got back those 40 acres and a mule that were promised to the freed blacks. And it took until 1964 when Lyndon B. Johnson, right, and Dr. Martin Luther King worked on the civil rights, right? So that's the Reconstruction number 2. Reconstruction was Abe Lincoln, 14, 15, 13, 14, 15, 16 Amendment. But they wanted to repeal that again. And this guy again, today, 47th Amendment, wanted to repeal the 14th Amendment. Project 2020. What the crap is that? So all I can say is they want to digress. They want to go back to not being bringing heaven on earth. They want to go back and digress to America used to be rich. America's always been and is still rich. It's still great. But when you go back to violating people's rights, their women's rights and abortion rights, that is not good. The same thing, the 19th Amendment is a women's right. 1920s, the 19th Amendment. It's women's right to vote. You want to digress to that. Holy smokes. God is going to deal with you. I don't have power like God, but God's power is the one that will deal with you. 47th administration. God will be the one that's dealing with you, not I. I am just a messenger. So, we talked about the future, we talked about the past, and now we're talking about the present. And today, we're trying to put together an industry here in Modesto area to make a profitable content so that people have work here in the Modesto area, and hopefully it can be copied to another city and another city in the United States, that our stories are very valuable. And so we have this filmmaking business plan, the film group, the creative group. You need a Modesto area movement, Modesto artist movement to do that. You need spearheaded by the people in the Queen Bean on 14th Street. They have open mic tomorrow. These are present day tomorrow, and then that would be, like I said, they have these young artists that are storytellers, creative stories. I'm a member of the SAG-AFTRA union, so I'm trying to express my experience, and I'm also I still participate in the internet technology in improving these applications that are abusive. They're millionaires, billionaires, but they're abusive to the USA citizens or humans in the United States. And so we have to fix that, because they made these global technologies. I mean, we made these global technologies, but the current people that are leading the edge, like Tesla, Starlink, Facebook, and I'm glad Apple technology is supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is great. That's the beauty of when you have other technologists not conforming to this crappy anti-DEI shit. So we don't want that crap. Why do you anti-DEI? Why don't you support diversity, equity, and inclusion? It makes a better world. It brings heaven on earth. That is the goal. We bring heaven on earth. Imagine heaven on earth. We don't need to die to go to heaven. Imagine we live and be in heaven on earth. That is the Lord's Prayer. That is the way of Yeshua, Jesus. And the Lord's Prayer is in the Bible, Matthew chapter 6. Man. Okay, so today that is the goal. We do it here in Modesto first, Modesto area. We bring heaven in Modesto. Diversity, equity, inclusion. We start making movies, films, TV shows, stories, better human to human in Modesto area. We do it here. We are the artists, the leaders, musicians, singer-songwriter, because King David was a musician. So was Solomon. Music, stories, poetry, ninja poet, Mr. Sam Pissaroff. He's one of the pioneers in the Modesto area. He originally, I believe, came from Long Beach, California. But yeah, Hollywood can't just be the only place. Hollywood, sure, it's a known place to be creative. Same thing in Silicon Valley. You just can't be the only place for technology. So the Modesto area, we are developing something here for a better today and tomorrow. We don't, I just totally don't accept any of these bad past coming back. I disagree with bad past. And these people that are administrating in the 47th, they want to bring back the bad past. That is bad and ugly. All right. So how much have we got? Oh, we got 6-7 more minutes. So we talked about the past. We talked about the future. And so we presently today, the Oscars is going to happen tomorrow, 3 p.m. So make sure you watch the Oscars before you go to the Queen Bee open mic. And that's it that's my talk. And this is episode 7 of season 1, Red Sabbath or Saturday Reds. Before I called it Friday Reds. And I'm your host, MERLE Celeste. MERLE is in the Gallo Merlot red wine. And MERLE Celeste. You know where it's at? Where MERLE Celeste is at? It's in Modesto area. Born and grown in Modesto area. MERLE Celeste. Thank you very much for those people that have been watching. We got my friend from Camdelackis, Sonia, and Darius, and Brian. Ask you, yeah. You know how I feel about loving God. We don't, loving each other, one another. We the people. We the people, the people, the people. Here we go. So we're closing. We're going to exit out of the secret garden ministry, the virtual sphere or Garden of Eden. We were in this virtual mode, and now we're going to exit out. We log out like how you log out of the account, of your account, your online, virtual online account. And so we have to log out. And again, there are ways to log in. The ways to log in, like, this abracadabra. I want to talk about that real quick. Abracadabra is a Hebrew word, ancient Jewish Hebrew practice. Some say it's witchcraft. Some say it's a way to log into your spiritual domain. So it's a practice of ancient Hebrew, and they covered it about it because Lady Gaga's been using and singing this song Abracadabra, and so but for me, there is ways to log in to the virtual secret circle. Your circle of friends. You have to create a login process. You vet, you verify your members of your circle, and so the secret garden. I'm just sharing a way to understand, we the people, how to log in to a righteous account in the virtual one. Because in the real Garden of Eden, you have to be pure and clear and clean, like Enoch, Elijah, Moses. You have to be clear, your spirit to, God will let you in. And Enoch was yanked to heaven. He was brought to heaven. So there is ways to get, how you become a saint, to be good, because God is good all the time and heaven is good. All right. But the Lord's Prayer, Jesus Christ's prayer to God, his Father, is in the Bible. It's in the book of Matthew. It's called the Lord's Prayer. How to pray to God, how to access and him to listen to you. How the Holy Great Spirit, So let's talk, let's log out. And so we log out. We're going to sing the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. Deliver us from every evil, O Lord. Yahuwah, God the Father, Yahweh. Through Jesus Christ, Yeshua. For the kingdom and the power and the glory are yours now and forever. Amen. This is Red Sabbath, Season 1, Episode 7. Thank you very much for listening. And so now we pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, that means for all we the people. Right? Stop firing civil servants, good working Americans, we the people. Stop firing them. 47th Amendment. Stop this billionaire a-hole. All right. Okay, next is the Star Spangled Banner, and then of course the We the People, which is the mission statement of the ConstitutionUS.com, the preamble. And here we go. Ooh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars, 50 stars, through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Yeah. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Yeah, 50 stars, 2025, March 2nd, E.CLI Rights Reserve. Thank you very much. We have logged out of the Sphere, the virtual Garden of Eden. We have logged out of the Circle. And yeah, we have, of course, upcoming lucky St. Patrick's Day. And of course, yeah, Ash Wednesday is coming up this coming week. Thank you very much for watching this Saturday Reds, or Red Sabbath, Season 1, Episode 7, copyrighted 2025, E.CLI Reserve, March 2nd. Thank you very much. Peace be with you. Aloha, mahalo, salamat, sheshe. Thank you. God bless everyone. And I am just a messenger. I am just a spokesperson for we the people, people of color, and all good citizens of the United States of America and the netizens online. Support, and bring heaven on earth. Okay? That is all my message. Bring heaven on earth, and we begin with we the people, 27th Amendment of the Constitution. ConstitutionUS.com. Check it out. That is the law of our land, and hopefully law of medicines. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Peace, peace, peace. Aloha, mahalo, and God bless us all. Thank you.